Welcome to Paradigms at paradigms.life, the radio show and podcast that brings you inspiring people with visions of a viable future for life on Earth that includes humans. Hi, I'm Baruch, host of Paradigms. Thanks for listening. We are welcoming back a really wonderful band. This is, I think, their third time on the show. They've just released their third record. It is delicious. It is just beautiful. You're going to love it. It's going to fill your body and your being with vibration that is beautiful and deep. They're going to share their process and talk about this new record, and we're going to listen to some of it. So here we go. Let's meet my guests on this episode of Paradigms. Opium Moon, welcome to Paradigms.
Hi, thank you so much.
I'm really happy to talk with the four of you. And before we get into stuff, maybe you could just each introduce yourself, say your name, and listeners will know who you are.
All right. Well, I'm Itai Disraeli, and I play fretless bass in Opium Moon.
I'm Hamid Saeidi. I play this weird hammer dulcimer. We call it Santur, Persian hammer dulcimer.
I'm Lili Haydn, and I play violin and sing.
And I'm MB Gordy, and I play percussion.
Let's just talk about the new record a bit and go from there. So let's start with the name, Where We Are Gathered. What's that about?
Well, we were making the record in the pandemic and with people traveling and with political strife occurring. As you know, Itai is from Israel and Hamid is from Iran. So both of their countries are going through, I won't speak for them, they'll speak, but you know, there was a lot going on in the world, and so we wanted to make this music, but we couldn't all be in the same room at all times. But we decided that where two of us were gathered, it was still Opium Moon. And then we started inviting guests, and we realized that in this time where we all feel more and more disconnected through chaos in the world, through social media, AI, algorithms, that where we are gathered, there can be hope. Where we are gathered, there can be love and understanding. Where we are gathered, there is the mandate to evolve and come up with new ideas that could make peace. And so we decided that this, we've always made peace through harmony in this band, coming from such diverse backgrounds, but especially on this record, it really was the embodiment of this premise.
And the music itself is so deeply resonant, musically, but also, I guess it's almost redundant to say vibrationally, but I mean in this sort of emotional, spiritual vibration. It's very resonant. It fills us. Tracks like Love and Understanding, Only Spirit. These are wonderful pieces of music, and the names tell us this is exactly where you're taking us.
There was an alternate name for the Only Spirit, but we can't really say.
I just heard a wonderful talk of Alan Watts, so he speaks about how it's one of the roles of the artist to live in such a way that it can be an example for people of how to live. The philosopher maybe teaches how to think, and the scientist tells how to analyze, but the artist teaches us how to live. And we want it to be in our music. We want to feel love and understanding when you hear it. To want you to feel the connection to the source. So we try to embody that as we play. Hopefully it comes across.
Well, that makes me want to ask you each to tell me a little bit about how you live.
Fight every other minute. Well, you know what? The thing is, look, we don't really fit neatly into a category. We've won a Grammy in New Age, and this is sort of the world in which our music has sort of found its place, but we embrace this. We embrace the paradox. You can have love and understanding one minute and then be filled with rage in the next, and it's okay because the whole premise of this album is inclusiveness. Where we are gathered, you include all of the emotions, and you know that there is that when you have the perspective that we all really are on the same team, we're all part of the same family, with that it really is. Well, finish my sentence, please, because I lost my train of thought. I didn't have caffeine yet.
I can only say one thing that I discovered during the course of this time is that, the temptation to go to the dark side, if you will, to the separation, to the hate, to the distrust. It's always there. And we are being pushed to it, because people can make money off of it, basically. But one of the things that I discovered, at least, that if I allow myself to be a little quiet on the inside and take another breath before I respond, before I can actually connect to the source inside of myself that tells me what's true. So as a result of it, I can not get into fights, I cannot get into arguments, I can wait a little bit longer to hear the other side and have a little more time to breathe, kind of like the way a good musician listens, And so I discovered that, at least for me, that's a better way to live, So that's one thing I can tell you about what I learned through this record.
I'll just talk a little bit about the process of this record. So Itai and I got together and then at my studio and laid down just a bunch of different ideas of groove ideas and different feels and different, we didn't know where any of this was going to go at the time. We were just kind of vibing on each other's where we were at that time, at that day, and I think this happened 3 or 4 times. And then those evolved into these different pieces. And it's a completely different process for us making this record than we made any other record. But I'll just speak for myself. I think this is probably my favorite record that we've done. They're all good, but I think this is my favorite record. It's just I don't know. I can't. You've heard it, so everybody's going to describe it differently. Knowing what the process was that we came into it with and what it's turned into is really exciting for me. So I think and we're really looking forward to presenting this in a couple weeks for our show. So.
Well, as an artist, don't we always want our latest thing to be our best work?
Yeah, I think that's hard. It's hard to do sometimes. We weren't trying that. We were just doing what we do. But of course, like a lot of times, if you're trying, there's the concept of the concept of trying, right? Here, take this out of my hand, right? And you're either doing it or you're not. You're not trying to do it. So there's that. But so, no, I think for us, for me, it's the process of making music, with no other sole goal than to make some great music. So,
That's always been the point of this band, is that it's a refuge from the storm of the world. That we all have our solo projects, we all have our the sessions we do. We all there's life to contend with, but when we get together and we actually make music with each other, it's like the angels just saying, "Here, your soul deserves a little joy, just uncomplicated joy," and that's always been the point of this band, for me.
And also, we decided on this record to open up a little bit more to the world. So we have a couple of guests on this record. Some really wonderful, wonderful guests.
The first song that we released from the record actually was in solidarity with the women of Iran, people of Iran, called Woman, Life, Freedom. And it was in collaboration with a legendary Persian singer named Hengame, who's a friend of Hamid's. Hamid brought her to us, and you want to tell us about that?
Actually, now it's a year from the disaster that happened in Iran. That they killed a 22-year-old woman because of her hijab. It was our dedication to this movement, our modest dedication to the movement, that our heart is with the women of Iran. Our heart is with all people who are fighting for freedom and fighting for simply better life and having a very, very simple rights. So that was our sincere dedication to this movement and all movements.
It's a beautiful, very moving song.
Thank you.
Powerful. And we also got to collaborate with this with another friend of ours from the Supreme Being of Leisure, Ramin Sakurai, who's totally a brother, and came on the project, and kind of we started working with him on this, and then kind of a few other tracks on the record. We just discovered we were a very good working relationship. He can understand what we're doing and just put just a little bit that we need in there to give it a certain kind of sound. So he was very, very, very helpful.
Ramin Sakurai, I don't know if you're familiar with Supreme Beings of Leisure, but they have had a bunch of very big hits in the early 2000s, and they were kind of like this kind of trip hoppy thing. They're kind of the sound of cool, and I've been friends with them for a really long time. And Ramin did a remix for us on our last album for a song called "I'll Wait for You," which is super fun. And he's actually of Iranian descent, so he was particularly moved by Women Life Freedom. He came in and he did some co-production with us on that. And then I thought it would be really fun to have kind of, as we evolve as a group in terms of opening up our sound, to include a few more sort of modern elements. What we have as a pure ensemble is something that could have been played as easily 2,000 years ago, or something like that, as today. And we love this ancient modern sound, and we wanted to sort of expand it so that, to reach a few more people. Honestly, that is actually, what's changed over the course of our existence as a band is that basically algorithms and AI are determining what people listen to. So music like ours that doesn't fit neatly into a category can get lost. So we've really had to reach out to people to say, if you care about music from the heart, please go to whatever streaming service you have and be actively streaming music that moves you. You can't be passive about this, otherwise music like ours will disappear. And unfortunately, people are coming to our aid. We've just released a new single a couple of weeks ago called Metta Prayer with our dear brother Benji Wertheimer, who's a devotional singer and who brought these exquisite sort of Gregorian chant-sounding vocals singing a Buddhist prayer of loving kindness, which is really the essence of who we are. Loving kindness and inclusivity. Ramin participated with that one as well, with some additional production, and that's been doing well, and we're just hoping that will help drive the album, and that anybody who's listening to this will take a minute and actively go stream and share with 5 people at least.
I'm talking with Opium Moon, Lili Haydn, Hamid Saeidi, Itai Disraeli, and MB Gordy. And we're talking about their new record, Where We Are Gathered. Let's hear some of it now. This one's called Only Spirit. Opium Moon on Paradigms at paradigms.life. spirit. That's Opium Moon from their new record, Where We Are Gathered. Isn't that just... Well, wait till you hear the rest of it. All right, let's get back to my conversation now with Opium Moon. So this record is out. People are going to be listening to it a lot, I imagine, which is really great. And so that vibe gets to get spread around and people get to feel it and share it. And that's awesome. You all as a group, this synergy that you create together, you've done this. And so I wonder, what's next for Opium Moon?
This is still new, actually. This feels very much what's next. I don't think we've fully explored what all of this music actually means to us as a group, since we sort of did do it in different sections. I think this connection between us is timeless. I think the through line for me is being in the flow, whatever we play, making sure that we're actually... that it comes to life. Sometimes we'll do a song, we were rehearsing for it, we've got a couple of concerts coming up, we were rehearsing, and Hamid said, come on, you guys, we need to bring this to life. And it's true, it's just about, really, when we tune into each other, it's about constantly refining the flow, whatever the repertoire is. So that is really, this group, I think if there was the essence of this group is flow.
Tell me about the concerts coming up.
We have our record release concert coming up in 2 weeks.
On September 23rd in Los Angeles. These are all Los Angeles shows in support of, we're releasing the album. So that's at the Village Recording Studio. If anybody is listening before September 23rd and you want to come to this concert, it's a rare LA concert at the Village Studios. And I'll send you a link that you can put in your notes. And then we have a short concert at the Grammy Museum. And of course, there's the subtext there is that, yes, we are going for another Grammy, and then a private event as well. So we're still in the process of getting, the world is still not quite on track. We had concerts that were scheduled during the pandemic that ended up never getting rescheduled. So, and promoters are still rescheduling concerts that were canceled during that time. So the world is in flux. Right now, our primary vehicle of communication is this album, and it really is it's our focal point. We're just asking everybody to listen 10 times and share it 10 times. I'm going to keep upping the number of times you want to share it. And we realize we can't be shy about it anymore. This really is kind of real musicians against the machines.
Yeah.
Or at least working with the machines to be able to still retain our humanity.
Well, we're at crunch time on a lot of issues here on Earth as humans, and that is certainly one of them. What role are we going to allow machines to play in shaping human direction? And it's easy for people to be fascinated. We like shiny things, we're like crows, but it's really important that we be intentional and not just sort of default to, oh, isn't the technology cool? Let's let it run our lives.
And then we each are doing some other, great stuff that we bring, the experiences and luster of which we bring to the band. Hamid is just released a very big song, again, for the women of Iran, the people of Iran, as the 8-year anniversary of Mahsa Amini's tragic killing has arrived.
It was the song right before the Grammy Day, with 16,000 people gathered together to sing Women, Life, Freedom, and we record that with the producer and singer is Taylor Hansen, and we put it together. And the entire Opium Moon, we dedicate all we can, all we have, everything that we have to make that song more beautiful and make it more out for people to hear it and understand it. So I just want to point out the thing that you said that I really, really like. Being angry, being sad, being frustrated, I think this is part of the love, part of us, and it's great to have that, and it's great to understand that this is part of us. And the word flow that you guys are mentioning, you guys are speaking so beautifully, and I'm so inspired to listen to you guys. I just wanted to repeat what you said, which was extremely beautiful. And also, please, one more time, listen to our record, share it 15 times.
By increments of 5, we're going to.
That's right. Okay, so 20 times, right?
25. 25.
25. I heard 30. I also want to point out that Itai has a beautiful band with his brother called Meitar. They actually have been playing. They've been together a lot longer than we have, and the ethos of which is very much in alignment with ours, which is a ethos of pure freedom. And Meitar has just made an exquisite album that's going to be coming out next year, and you'll want to have them on because they're phenomenal, and it's really a masterpiece.
Well, the record is called Love Dub and the Abstract One Drop. And it's going to be insane. I mean, we'll talk about it next year because it's coming out next year. So keep an eye out for Meitar and the Abstract One Drop. I also want to mention that Lili, just nominated for an Emmy, for a song that she wrote. She and co-composer wrote for the TV show that she was working on. So we have an Emmy nominee in the band right now.
An Emmy nominee. You're all Grammy winners.
And MB is just the first call percussionist to in all your favorite soundtracks, and instantly makes me feel like I'm flying over a mountain.
These folks really love playing together. It comes through in the music, and it certainly came through in the conversation. We'll be back with more of this conversation, but we're going to hear another track from the new record, Where We Are Gathered. This one's called The Mystery, with musical guests, Supreme Beings of Leisure, Opium Moon. Opium Moon, The Mystery, from their new record Where We Are Gathered. And now here's the next part of my conversation with Lili Haydn, Itai Disraeli, Hamid Saeidi, and MB Gordy. This is Paradigms at paradigms.life.
Our last big concert was for the TED stage in India, and the premise of that talk was we played, and then we talked about how, we do come from Muslim, Jewish, and Christian backgrounds. We do come from Israel, Iran, and the U.S. and Canada. And our governments tell us we should be enemies, but when we play, we know there are no borders. Our hearts meld, and we realize that the way that we make music can actually be a template for how to make peace in the world. The way we listen, we have to make room for each other's ideas. We don't step on each other. We give each other room to express. We don't jump on it. We don't take every moment of silence as an opportunity to fill the space. We listen, and our ideas evolve because of what each of us has to say. And we realize that together we make something more interesting and innovative and beautiful than we would have made by ourselves.
So just something to go to what you said, Baruch, is that in the spirit of including everything, people say that like new air, like you're spiritual, so you're going to play like soft and kind of mellow. Being spiritual sometimes is being hard. Sometimes it's dancing your ass off. Sometimes it's rocking out. Sometimes it's shouting. We in the band actually push each other to be the best we can be.
Well, we also push each other just by. I can tell you that that they're all such badasses. It brings out the best in my playing, and my ideas are refined in the excellence of my bandmates.
The bottom line is we really, really enjoy playing music with each other. We really, really enjoy even our rehearsal. If we enjoy our recording, we enjoy even sometimes arguing with each other. We enjoy, for me, I enjoy every moment, when I'm working with this band. I enjoy every moment. All of us, as Lili said, we have our own project. We are dealing with Hollywood. We are dealing with, mainstream music and stuff like that, which is great. This is part of our life. This is part of the journey, I believe. But here is sort of safe house. Here is whatever we are making here, whatever we are, however we are pushing each other, it's to be better and make something greater and make more beauty, and it is the absolute and actual love and understanding.
Yeah, I mean you can't have good without bad. You can't have, or evil without good. I mean, it's the yin and yang of everything. So it's all part of that process, and it's a well, at least for me, a daily challenge to process that and accept that. You know what I mean? But it's just a given. I mean, I understand the fact that you cannot have the highs without the lows. I don't think, or else it's just pretty mundane, But sometimes it's some days, some months, some years. It's harder to process that than other times. You know what I mean? So that's that journey. Because of that, the music that we play when we play together, it's always another level. I can only speak by myself in the sense that there was a period of time, like early on, I think maybe even before we released the first record, where we used to do this gig sort of every other month or something, and up at Corazon in Topanga. And, there'd be days, days are long, like Itai teaches all day, Hamid teaches, Lili's doing writing, and I do sessions and some teaching, and at that time I was doing more teaching. But, we come to a gig, man, everybody's fried, and we got to play at 8 o'clock at night, we're burnt out from the day. But the minute we started playing, it was always this transformative situation for everyone, even us. So that's the joy of that, that helps with the process of
navigating the business world. Yeah,
yeah,
I agree.
And also, this band, I can honestly say that this band never had a bad gig. I mean, hopefully not going to continue, but honestly, because with each band there's like a night at some point. or whatever. Honestly, with this band, all our gigs, there were good gigs and great gigs, but there was nothing like, and even our rehearsals, and one thing that I learned is like, look, we play with a lot of people from all over the world, but I realized for me that when you get that special thing with people, it's a treasure. It's a treasure that's worth really doing everything for. It's worth putting up with the business world and with the vicissitudes of life and the ups and downs, because there's something that's like, you don't get it with everybody. I can get together with hundreds of drummers, and they all be good drummers, but I want to with him that instant natural thing with MB or with Hamid. It's natural. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to. And when you have that, this is such a treasure. And I learned that this treasure worth everything. So for me, when that happens in my life, I do whatever it takes to make that work, because that at the end of the day, that you can look at the mirror and go, you know what, I'm at least doing God's work on this earth, at least in one sense, and I'm letting inspiration coming through with other people without truth comes through.
We're going to hear a couple of tracks now that we've been talking about, and then we'll be back with the final part of my conversation with these four wonderful people. Here's the song Woman, Life, Freedom, dedicated to the women and all the people in Iran.
زن زندگی آزادی زن زندگی آزادی
Love and Understanding from Opium Moon's new record, Where We Are Gathered, and before that, Woman, Life, Freedom. Powerful, beautiful, meaningful, resonant. So many words I could use. Okay, let's get back now to my conversation with Opium Moon. I'm hoping people will listen to this music as part of their morning meditations for, 30, 40 times.
Yeah, 50.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to 50 now. We're going to 50
And then
now.
I'll share it. I also want to just say there's a philosophy here, obviously, and there's an ethos of being in the flow and listening and inclusivity and all of that. But the music is also just deeply groovy. I mean, the fact that MB and Itai, when they play, it's like this, you just want to bite something. Like really, it's libidinal and powerful and it just like, so we've got this kind of heavenly beauty on top, but the juxtaposition of this beauty and the growl, to me, that's the most infectious and delicious combination. It just makes me like it's compelling, it's impelling. To me, that's what makes it interesting. If it were just beautiful. The band honestly started with Hamid and me, and it was exquisite from the start. The sound of our instruments together just makes my heart sing. And yet, it wouldn't be Opium Moon if it didn't have the earth and the fire and, you know, the combination of these elements is just infectious and makes me... I tell people it's the best music for meditating or making love.
Okay, so Itai is earth and MB is fire and Hamid is water and Lili is air.
Something like that. We exchange, you know, and
yeah, we like the avatars, you know, we kind of bend, we kind of do all that between us.
The fifth sacred thing is spirit.
Yeah.
For sure.
In the center, man.
And actually, I also wanted, you mentioned, you know, we've talked a lot about love and understanding. There is actually a song on the album called Love and Understanding. It's a rare moment of English vocals. It has one message, and it's a message that was given to me by one of my great teachers, who prefers to say anonymous. She said, "There's no problem in the world for which more love and understanding is not the answer."
Say it again.
There's no problem in the world for which more love and understanding is not the answer. Again, all just to bring us back to where we are gathered, there can be love and understanding. And actually the metta prayer is a prayer of loving kindness that starts with yourself. May I know peace. Itai can elaborate here, but it evolves to, you know, from may I to may the people I love know peace and happiness. May the people that I don't love so much know people and they live in happiness. May the entire world love it. So where we are gathered is you know, it takes on all of those perspectives. We, meaning the royal we, and then we as a planet. You know, where we are gathered, there is possibility, and it's about inclusiveness.
Thank you all for coming on the show, talking about your lives and this music and your process, and for sharing this with us. It's really wonderful. I'm very pleased to be able to share this out with listeners.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful.
It was such a pleasure to meet with you all again. Opium Moon, MB Gordy, Hamid Saeidi, Itai Disraeli, Lili Haydn. You all are just making amazing music, putting great energy into the world. And clearly it comes out of the way you connect with intention and presence. Folks, if you'd like to know more about Opium Moon, their website is opiummoon.com. And coming up on September 24th, their album release party at Village Studios in Santa Monica. You can still get tickets. There's a link on the Paradigms website. So if you're in the Los Angeles area, go to this event. You'll remember it forever. When people come together with an intention of love and peace and understanding and healing and all those good things, and they make music, then the music carries all that. So when we listen to this music, we're bathing in all those intentions. I love it. I hope you enjoyed meeting Opium Moon and hearing their music, and that you'll visit the Paradigms website, paradigms.life, where you'll find this episode and about 600 others, including 2 other episodes with Opium Moon. So no more talk. We're going to end the episode with the track that Itai was talking about, Back to the Beginning. I think you're really going to love this. And let's let the word for the week be resonance. Feel the resonance of the music. Feel it in your body. Feel it in your being. But as you go through your week, notice what else resonates, whether it's an idea or a sound or an emotion. Resonance is both actual, vibrational, but it's also metaphorical for feeling a sense of alignment. All right. Baruch signing off for this episode of Paradigms. We'll be back next time with more inspiring people. Until then, notice resonance. With what do you resonate? And be well. You've been listening to Paradigms at paradigms.life.